This meeting is being recorded.
Should be a couple more of those and then we'll get started. Okay, so I'm going to lay out just a couple of things for the structure of this challenge. I'm also going to share my screen for just a little brief presentation. I know everybody's busy. A lot of people are at work, can't make it, so I'm going to keep it short for them as well. Shouldn't be more than about 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes of me talking, and then I'm going to do what I can to answer any questions that you might have. And I'll give you a chance to just kind of reach out to me and make sure that you're able to get everything out of this 2 weeks you want to get out of it. So without further ado, can y'all see my screen currently?
Yes.
All right, great.
Yes, yes.
If you want to talk, I might mute you because I might mute everybody. If you want to talk, just go ahead and make sure that you're unmuted and we'll get rolling. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the rules framework and the results that you should expect to get out of the 14-day challenge. I'll introduce myself briefly. I know a lot of you. There's actually a lot of you that I don't know, which is exciting. New introductions are great. I got my bachelor's in exercise science. Probably took me longer than it took most people. But I graduated without debt, and learned a lot from that. I've been a personal trainer for a couple of years. I also have a background in food and cooking. I ran the kitchen of an after-school program, ministry in Knoxville, for about 2.5, 3 years through college. So I cooked a lot of about 125 kids and adults every night that I was cooking for. So got used to cooking and tried to make healthy meals for those kids. Interesting thing about me is I actually still to this day really struggle with fatigue. I would say almost on a daily basis. And just some kind of like, I got sick a long time ago, a little bit of a weird sickness. We don't exactly know what it was. It was maybe parasite related. But what that means is I've got to be on my health behaviors. If I feel really poor throughout the day and I don't perform as well as I want to in my everyday life. The cool thing about being a health coach though, and having that as a personal issue is I think I can relate to a lot of my clients who just don't feel their best and who know that they're only hitting on 2 cylinders when they want to hit on all 4. I have recently been admitted to physician assistant school, so I'm really interested to see kind of the healthcare world grow in terms of behavioral health and integrating habits for chronic disease. I think that's definitely going to be something that the American healthcare system is going to need to improve on. I'm also in the Air National Guard. So if anybody else is in the service or anything, shout out to you guys. My beard is going to have to go here very this weekend, actually. Okay, my experience, I've worked for 3 years under a physician here in Knoxville, again, mostly kind of in like lifestyle health and lifestyle medicine, particularly worked both in person and with groups, and then individual training, in person and virtual, and individual and group training. One thing that couple of things that I've learned, but one of them is that you really do, if you want to change your health, if you want to change your daily experience, if you want to change just literally how you feel from a day-to-day standpoint, you really do need to address all areas of health. So you don't just need to change your diet, you need a little bit of support to change your sleep, your lifestyle, your habits, the way you handle stress, all that kind of stuff. So I'm always trying to think through how can we create an integrated plan. If you want to lose 20 pounds, you don't just lose 20 pounds, you change the way you eat, you change the way you sleep, you change the way you exercise. And then with a lot of time, you can lose that 20 pounds. My work focused primarily on reversing disease markers for type 2 diabetes and prediabetes. So doing a lot of work with people on several medications, kind of with the care of a physician, removing those and exchanging them for a healthy lifestyle. So that's still a really fun part of what I do. However, one thing that I learned over those 3 years in working with, diabetes, prediabetes, heart disease, and then just, normal healthy people, one thing that I've learned that's been really sort of exciting in one way is that change is really hard. And not everybody is on pre-diabetic medications, but almost everybody that I talk to can relate to the fact that change. Can I see any hands? Who's had a hard time changing about their behavior, their life, the way they think about the world? Has anybody not had a hard time changing anything? I'm assuming everybody's, got a hand up. So that's one thing. That's one thing that I'm really excited about. That one of the hardest things to do is to change, and so it's a really big challenge, and it's a challenge that more than helping people reverse prediabetes or whatever. I just want to help people begin to change the way they think about their body, the way they act, the way they move, and really just the way they live their lives. So, hey, real quick, one way to help people change is by encouragement, is by doing kind of fun things. It's one of the reasons why we're doing this challenge. I got a couple of giveaways to give. I told y'all I was going to buy coffee for a couple of people, the first couple of people on the call. Hey, Eric, would you message me in the chat your Venmo, and I'm going to Venmo you $5.50 for you or your wife to get a morning coffee.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Jackie Foster, you were also in pretty soon, and you're helping me out with some coaching later. So just, hey, shoot me a message in the Zoom, and don't leave until you shoot me that message, and I'll just shoot you a Venmo. And
sweet.
Renee Hunter, you were actually, I honestly think my mom was the first one in, but sorry, Mom, I'll. So Renee, if you got a Venmo, shoot that over to me. And by the way, the end of this challenge, there will be a fun Lululemon giveaway. I asked people if you want another brand, we can do that. But Lululemon was what I had on my mind. That was I put in the survey when you join the challenge. I think 9 out of 10 people said they wanted Lululemon. A couple of people wanted Viore. Okay, so in terms of how the 2 weeks is actually going to work, we just got a couple of simple rules. Sign up through the link. Has anybody, I think everybody, if I just look everybody on this call, I think everybody has actually filled out the sign up link. If you have not filled out the sign up link, or you don't know what I'm talking about, just shoot me a message and I can let you know. If you're watching this recording at home and you're like, I'm in the Facebook group, but I don't know if I ever filled out a form, shoot me a message or shoot me an email and I'll make sure that you're signed up. So just sign up and join the Facebook group. Most of the content is going to be run through the Facebook group. The other thing is I want you to keep up with the 4 behaviors as best as you can. That is going to be on the honor system. I know you're not not going to be perfect, but I really do want you to commit to trying to be consistent with those. And then, like Eric said at the beginning of the call, community support, just doing it as a group will help other people succeed. So I want you to pay it forward. I want you to post a picture or video in the Facebook group of you doing one of those behaviors. You don't have to have your face in it. You can just take a picture of your alarm clock if you're not using your phone. Here's the 4th rule. I want you to keep up with me. I'm going to commit a lot of time to being accessible to everybody that's in the challenge with trainings, calls, recordings of these calls. I'm going to be putting out resources every day. If you can get yourself in front of me, if you could just shoot me messages, if you can tell me what you want to accomplish in these 2 weeks, I will do what I can to keep up with you. And accept that accountability. Change is really hard. People don't change unless they get a little bit of a push. And I'm here for at least 2 weeks to give you a little bit of a push. So just stay in touch, get what you came here for. As long as you throw yourself in front of me, I'll be able to help you, but I can't necessarily chase everybody down. So just those 4 things: sign up, join the Facebook group, keep up with your behaviors, post a picture, stay in touch, picture or video. And that will make you eligible for Lululemon. Just a reminder of the framework for the challenge. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11:15 Central, 12:15 Eastern, I'll be doing a brief discussion like this. I will be putting daily content in the Facebook group. So they usually do recipes or workouts. I'll be checking my email and be responding to those every afternoon. So if you shoot me an email like in the evening, I might have to respond like 24 hours later, but I'll respond to all emails every afternoon. And then, like I told, again, I think I said this to Eric at the beginning, I'll just be announcing a couple of calls for specific maybe populations. A lot of people, when they joined, I was really excited. A lot of people gave a reason for why they joined. And a lot of people said, for example, they wanted to actually just feel stronger and more energetic. And so we can literally do a whole call on just what are the behaviors you need to be doing to feel stronger and more energetic. So I'll kind of just announce those throughout the weeks. This is, if you want to take a quick picture of this, I didn't put the dates on here because I didn't want to overwhelm you with too much. But if you want to take a picture of this or a screenshot, this is like the schedule of the midday calls. So the Monday, Wednesday, Friday calls. So this call is the first call. The second call, we're going to be talking about, I don't want you to waste another minute of your life in the gym. I want you to only do effective things when you're exercising. And so we're going to talk about the rules of effective exercise. 3, we're going to be talking about the importance of protein and why I made that one of the criteria for the challenge. 4 is how we form the habit of daily walking. Again, I'm going to base that off of my experience. I've increased my steps by about 15 to 20% over the last 8 months or a year of my life. And that's made a huge difference in how I feel and just my health. So I'm going to talk about what worked for me and what's worked for my clients. The 5th training, we're going to be talking about sleeping routines so you can wake up more refreshed. 6, we'll do a weekly food guide and grocery list. Most people said that that's something that they wanted support in, so I'll be providing that. And then 7, the last thing we're going to do is a supplement list and food guide so you can stop wasting your money. I've seen a lot of this. Supplements are really good business, just so everybody knows that. They scale really well, and it's great to make a lot of money off them. So there's a lot of supplements that are a good business and not necessarily a great supplement. So I'll give you kind of a list of about 8 to 10 supplements that you could consider. So really, really quickly, the 4 behaviors. I don't have time, and I'm not going to take all of your time right now to justify why I picked these 4 behaviors. But in these trainings, I will. I'll talk through why we're doing these behaviors. Consuming quality protein. The best way to do this is to eat. So we've got a couple of vegetarians, vegans in the challenge, so that we can think about that. You have a couple of differences that we can talk about over email or just on a quick call. But the best way to make this happen is this is kind of a twofer. I want you to really work on actually incorporating a lean meat into your diet. So for lunch and or dinner, I'm usually putting some chicken on my plate, lean ground beef, salmon, shrimp, something like that. I want you to get used to eating a lean meat. I do think meat is an underappreciated food. Everybody knows that spinach is really healthy, right? Because it's green and it's leafy, and spinach is really healthy. However, the amount of nutrients in like a piece of like red meat, a steak, is far superior to just spinach. So I want you to eat your spinach. I want you to eat your vegetables. But the reality is something like a piece of chicken or a fillet of fish has many of the same nutrients and then actually a lot more. So I want you to feel confident that actually incorporating lean meat into your diet is very natural and is very healthy. The other thing is I do want you to do a protein shake because it's a super easy way. There's been tons of research on just a daily protein shake. It's very easy to stick with behaviorally, and you are going to get a big benefit from it. If you don't, does anybody want the recommendation of the protein powder that I use? Anybody want me to put that in the chat?
I do.
All right, great. I, for a long time, shied away from giving my specific protein recommendation because I gave it to a couple of people and they didn't like it, the one that I did, and I made them mad. However, I do think I found just my absolute favorite protein powder. So here it is. I'm going to copy this link. It mixes really well, which is an important thing with protein powder. Like if it doesn't mix well, you're just going to be drinking it's going to be unpleasant and you're not going to stick with the behavior. So it mixes well. It's also really delicious. You can do it if I'm in a real rush, I'll mix it in some water. But you can also just mix it in some milk or almond milk, oat milk, anything of your choice there. You can also just put it into a smoothie. So does everybody see? And yeah, you can put it in raw, unpasteurized milk if you really want your absolute best health results. Everybody see that? Oh, no, I just sent that to Eric. Hold on. Everybody see the link I just sent in your chat? Great, getting some thumbs up. Perfect. Whey protein. So I've gotten a lot of questions about like a plant-based protein or an organic protein. There's just more research on whey protein, and I think whey protein is a complete protein, and it's particularly good at building muscle. So I think I prefer that kind of whey protein to some kind of like Orgain or a plant-based protein. But if you have a plant-based protein powder and you want to finish it, obviously you can just go ahead and finish that. You don't have to buy a new one. But, it just depends on what your goals are. All right. 1 second. Okay, so the other thing, this is going to be the hardest behavior for most people, is to lift weights consistently. Going to be the hardest behavior in that if you're not going to the gym regularly, you might have to get a gym membership, and it's just going to be new. For some people, it's just going to be something they've not done at all. Don't get too hung up about doing it perfectly. The first step of doing good exercise is to just start doing it. I've provided a program that is in the Facebook group. It's in the email that you got when you joined. There's literally, I'll show that at the end one more time for you, but I've written out some exercises that you can do. All of them can be accomplished in about 30 minutes or less. Again, you can do like a Planet Fitness membership for $10 a month, something like that, or Gold's Gym. There's also a lot of free trials at a gym near you, and YMCAs are great because you can travel all across the country and still have access to it. If you're also a teacher, you work in ministry, social work, anything like that, the YMCA's got some steep discounts. So this might be the one that is, if you got to spend your energy on one of these, like consuming daily protein, that's not going to take you any more time. Lifting weights might take you a little bit more time. You might have to figure out how you're going to make that happen. 3, daily walk. A lot of people are already doing this, but making sure you're just getting out for at least 15, 20 minutes. Just, it's great to do it without a phone, without electronics, or, listen to an audiobook, something like that. Your body is designed to move. You should honor that and just make some kind of daily movement part of your routine. So again, that's not going to be too challenging to do, except for the fact that it's really hot. And, you're going to start sweating a lot more than we were a couple of weeks ago. But one of the reasons why I decided to put that in the challenge is that people are going to start walking less because it's getting hotter. So don't be pushed by that pressure. The heat's going, so you stop your habits. Try to keep up with them even though it's getting hot. And then the 4th, this one's a little bit surprising because most of the thing you might have expected the final thing is going to be to like eat spinach or don't eat sugar or something. But sleep quality is a huge thing that people can make a couple of small adjustments and improve. So this is one that I've definitely got to improve on. I'm scrolling on my phone way too late at night. But using my phone as an alarm clock, I used to wake up. Nicholas Manley was my roommate in college. When I do the early shift at the gym, and I'd wake up at like 5 a.m. and I'd spend 5 a.m. to 5:20 just like scrolling the news or something to wake me up. Just because, and it did sort of wake me up, but not in any kind of healthy way. So making sure that you're not seeing a screen the first or last thing of your day is an important part of your sleep hygiene. Okay, does anybody notice something about these 4 behaviors? Does anybody, there's maybe like an important thing that might be a part of like most people's like habits to health. Anybody, all 4 of these have something in common. Nobody might be able to answer this question, but does somebody want to try? What am I not asking you to do in this challenge?
You're not asking us to change our diet necessarily.
Oh, okay. Yes. So I'm not asking you to change your diet necessarily. Somebody else said something.
Drink more water.
Okay, I'm not asking you to drink more water. Carol, what were you going to say?
I don't know.
I'm not asking you to take anything out. This is very much like working on addition. Adding in behaviors is where I want you to spend your time and effort. I'm not as interested in these 2 weeks. Like when I have a client who is anything, they want to lose 50 pounds, they want to reverse their type 2 diabetes, they've got like post-COVID and their energy is in the tank. If you are coming from a position where you're kind of worn out, you feel like you're running on 2 cylinders, not 4 cylinders. Your energy isn't where you want it to be. Your health isn't where you want it to be. Maybe your life's not where you want it to be. I don't actually want you to start trying to deny yourself something and just trying to do better and cut away, take out the sugar. Yes, we should talk about your sugar intake. Yes, we can remove gluten from your diet if you've got some gut sensitivities. But the bottom line is we can go on a low carb diet. All that kind of stuff could be what you need to do. But the bottom line is 85 to 90% of people fail their diets because they're not very good at just taking things out and sticking with it. And they don't have a foundation of positive behaviors that allow them to keep the changes that they make while they diet. So I don't want you to just come in and start cutting away all the things that you shouldn't be doing. Instead, I want you to focus on positive energy and effort. And by the way, Rob said, I'm not asking you to change your diet. Well, I'm asking you to add in a few things to your diet. And if you do commit to eating a lean meat and supplementing with a protein shake, it is going to decrease your sugar cravings. If you start lifting weights 3 times a week, you are going to change the way you feel about yourself. And you're going to say, well, I don't want to eat that cookie as much because I'm taking care of my body this week. If you start doing a daily walk and prioritizing sleep, you will naturally start saying no to the things that you need to say no to. So anyways, that's sort of, I really want to focus on sustainable habits and behaviors, because if you can't stick with it, it doesn't matter what diet you do. It doesn't matter how much weight you've lost. If you don't have a foundation of some basic habits, you're not going to keep it. And so that's a little bit of a harsh reality, but I think let's take our time and focus on adding in things rather than subtracting things. All right, does that sound reasonable? Wonderful. Okay, so what can you expect? If you do take the next 2 weeks and you start prioritizing some protein, you carve out some time for you to sleep a little bit better, you're moving every day, and you start lifting weights, I guarantee you, I absolutely guarantee, even if you don't cut out your sugar, even if you don't eat perfect, even if you don't get a salad every day, I guarantee you're going to feel stronger. You're going to feel more energetic. You're going to begin to develop a framework for success. And you're going to feel great about the fact that you practice the discipline of adding in consistent behaviors. And again, just as a reminder, if you don't focus on adding in positive behaviors, you won't be able to maintain any health improvements if you can't maintain the habits that got you there. So take that as an encouragement. Let's start simple. Start simple, commit to these behaviors. I guarantee you're going to feel stronger, more energetic, and feel proud of yourself that you practice discipline and consistency. Now, if you are ready for more, I'll just show this slide if you want to take a picture of this. Here are a couple of suggestions. If you're doing a lot of these behaviors, or say you're doing one behavior already, you've already made a habit of, like I've got some people that are like, no, I don't use my phone as an alarm. Some people, I'm already working out 3 times a week. If you're already doing one, here's a couple of things you kind of promote up. If you're not doing any of these 4, don't do anything on this list. Just go ahead and do the 4 habits we already talked about. But if you're already doing a protein shake every day, you're eating chicken for lunch every day, one thing you could do is aim for about 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 150 pounds, roughly 120 to 150 pounds or grams of protein. You could up your weights and intensity in the gym. That's something you might kind of shoot me an email on, and I can help you think through how to do that. You say you're already walking every day for 20 minutes. A lot of people have sent me that they're doing that. Most people are tracking their steps now or have a way to do that. I'd encourage you maybe boost your steps by 10% over last week. And then if you already aren't using your phone as an alarm, which is probably, I think there's like one person that's not, you could take a full hour before and after sleep where you don't check your phone. And that's what I'm going to be doing this week. If I don't text you back or email you back or message you back on Facebook in the evening or in the morning, that's probably why. So that's going to be one that I'm going to stick with, and that's going to be kind of hard for me, I'll admit. So real quick, I think Nikki's on this call, but Nikki's been a client for, I think, over 1.5 years now, maybe almost 2 years at this point. I'll just share with you that, change is hard. People underestimate how long it's going to take them to change. They also underestimate the amount of support they need to change. Nikki's a great example of somebody who didn't underestimate the support she needed and didn't underestimate the time it took for her to get where she wanted to go. These 4 behaviors that we're going to be practicing in the challenge are the starting point that I start with all my clients, and they're the same foundations that Nikki and I kind of work through on a weekly basis. But over the last 2 years, Nikki's reversed her prediabetes, got off several medications, lost over 30 pounds. I don't remember what that number is, but you know, I don't care as much about that number as I care about the overall transformation. And she's done all of this despite having a couple of injuries throughout the process. She's got a really busy work schedule. She's gotten promoted at least, gosh, she's been promoted and gone through a merger of her bank over the course of this transformation. She's had a daughter's wedding that she's planning, trips. She's moved houses during a crazy market. So Nikki's a lot like a lot of people. She's super busy. She's got a ton going on. She's not perfect, but she added in positive behaviors, stuck with them after having fallen off the wagon a couple of times through COVID and stuff like that. She finally said, you know, I'm just going to commit to the positive behaviors. And it's been awesome. And it's been such a pleasure to work with her and be able to see that transformation because she's got what it takes. She's not perfect, but she's not all in or all out. She knows that she needs to just engage her health every day, every week. She identifies as a healthy person. And that's the kind of mindset that we want to foster for each of you. So, you know, Nikki doesn't have one day where she doesn't say, well, the weekend's coming, so I'm going to turn off my healthy behaviors and then I'll get back to it on Monday. She says, hey, my weekend's coming, plans are a little bit different, but I'm still going to engage this on a daily basis. So with that being said, she's not perfect, but she's worked on the foundational behaviors and the consistency, and she can hopefully be a model for you guys. She's been a great encouragement for me. So let's get to it. Do y'all have any questions? I'll give you two options. If you have any questions you want to just throw out in this call, I'll be happy to take them. The other thing I'd love for you to do, and I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put my email in the chat here. And I'm going to give you I'll give you a minute or so while anybody else is asking their question. But I'm going to shoot my email, Stuart. And I want you to send me an email right now. If you're on this call, you know, you're going to do the challenge. You might as well get what you came here for. You might as well get a lot out of it. You might as well get as much out of it as you can. I'm giving about 2 weeks of my time to anybody, anything that they want. So, you know, if you got the chance, you might as well take it. What I'd like you to do is shoot me an email, and I want you to make the subject of that email, hold me accountable to. So, hold me accountable to is the subject of that email. And I'd love for you to tell me something that you want me to hold you accountable to over the next 2 weeks. Accepting accountability is a huge part of your transformation. So you can tell me what you want to be held accountable to. You could also put in there something that you'd like to learn. So you could say, look, I know I need to just go ahead and walk every day, but I've been busy at work and I'm so tired at 4 o'clock. Let me know what I can hold you accountable to. You can also say, hey, you know, my doctor just told me I have high cholesterol. What does that mean? What could I learn about that? Or what lifestyle measures can I do for that? So I'd love to just give you all a couple of minutes, really take out your phone or just do it on your computer, whatever you're joining on. Send me a message. Tell me what you want me to hold you accountable on. And then if there's anything you'd like to learn, I'd love to. I can create a whole training. Just if 3 or 4 of y'all tell me the same thing, we'll do a whole training on it. Oh yeah, thanks. Thanks, Elizabeth. I'll show that really quickly. Stop my screen share. If you go to this document that everybody should have been emailed, share my screen. This document that everybody should have been emailed. There's a link at the bottom of it, and I give you a quick video showing you what I mean by this and why I chose these 4 behaviors. And then anything that's underlined on this, these are the same movements. This will take you to a link to YouTube. So if you click that, unfortunately, there's some ads. Everything on there will take you to a link showing you how to do that move. So if you have this on your phone, you just take it to the gym with you. You can be like, I don't remember how to deadlift, or I don't know how to do a bench press. Just go ahead and click on that, and it'll take you to a link there. And then you can also see this video here. All right, good. I'm getting some emails on accountability. This is great. Thank you all for that. Keep them coming. Okay, I got a question here. One question I got was, does beef skirt steak count as a lean protein? Your lean proteins is going to be like bacon is not a lean protein. Sausage is not a lean protein. But anything like any red meat that's like a top sirloin, usually the cheaper cuts of steak are going to be a lean meat. The really expensive cuts or the really nice ones that you're going to get in a restaurant, like a New York strip or ribeye, are a little bit fattier. But any cheap cuts of steak, pork chops, pork tenderloin is lean, chicken is lean, shrimp, salmon, any kind of white fish. So those are great lean protein options. I already sent my protein powder recommendation. Plant-based is okay. It's probably not as good as whey. Probably doesn't make a huge difference. I just care that you're doing it. So if you have a plant-based one and want to finish it out, just go ahead and finish it out. Okay. So Nicholas asked a good question. If it's quality grass-fed beef, why does it need to be lean? Isn't the fat good? So here's the way I would answer that. Fatty ground beef isn't necessarily less healthy than lean ground beef. But the problem of the American diet, or one of the problems of the American diet, is you're getting tons of fat in your diet and you're getting tons of carbs and sugars in your diet, and you're not getting that much quality protein. The average American eats 10 to 12% of their calories from protein. You probably should be eating, protein should be your main nutrient you're getting. So at least 20 to 25% of your diet coming from protein would be a really, really positive improvement. So it's not that fatty ground beef is necessarily less healthy. It's that you're already getting plenty of fat and you're not getting enough protein. So what I want you to do is turn the dial away from fats and carbs and more towards protein, so that your diet is richer and fuller and has a higher proportion of protein. Does that make sense, Nicholas? Is that a fair response?
Yep.
Awesome. So in other words, it would probably not be a big positive health improvement to go and add on, another cup and a half of rice every day. It might be, if you're training a bunch, Eric might need more rice for his CrossFit. It probably is not going to be a huge health improvement to eat a bunch more saturated fat. I could say with a lot of confidence, if I'm in a room with 120 people, 119 of them are going to improve their health by just dialing up their protein. Carol asked, should we take whey protein within a specific time after the workout? The most important thing is just that you get it. We used to think, if you've heard of the phrase, the anabolic window, they're like 30 to 45 minutes after you work out, you got to get your protein in. It's more of like, it's not a window, it's a really big barn door. So as long as you're eating 4 to 5 hours after your workout, you'll be fine. So I don't care as much about when you're getting it, but if you want to get it right after a workout, that's kind of when I do it. So. All right. Let me do this. I'm gonna go ahead and cut off the recording for people that are watching. They can just go ahead and shoot me an email anyways. If you'd like to stay on, I've definitely got a couple more minutes. I'd love to just answer any other questions y'all have. Hope y'all are excited. Hope y'all are encouraged. And I really hope this is a framework that can help you commit to those positive behaviors before you start throwing out everything else in your diet.